everybody, welcome back to my channel. So I finished a couple books, and this is gonna be kind of like an R.F. Kuang heavy 2 weeks, because I finished The Burning God and then I finished Catabasis. I am first going to talk about my Poppy War experience, which is all three of these books. I love this so much. If you don't know what the Poppy War is about, it is about a girl named Win. She starts off as a poor girl from a poor village. And then she's very smart and gets accepted into this army school, and then she finds the Phoenix. And she kind of starts the next Poppy War, and that's kind of what books 2 and 3 are mostly about. Everything about this is fantastic. It is very grim dark. So just be aware of that when you are looking into this series. If you have any triggers, it's probably in here. R.F. Kuang is a writer that does not hold anything back. She says it how it is, and it's pretty blunt in your face. The second book was very heavy into walking around these towns that have been devastated by war and the imagery from that. So just be very aware of like your triggers for something like that. But I fell in love with Rin. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Rin. She has to go. This is the book I finished, so I'm gonna hold this up. She is somebody that she's very young, and she makes a lot of mistakes. I was talking to my boyfriend about this. This reminds me so much of Red Rising and Darrow's kind of journey. And it's as grimdark as Red Rising gets in the later books. First one's not as bad, and then from there you just go downhill. And that's how I kind of felt about this too. It's a lot shorter and everything. Yeah. And the characters grow so much. That was kind of my thing with this, is Ren goes from this very poor girl to a leader. And I think she really makes a really good leader by the end of this book. That's not really, I don't feel like it's a spoiler too much. I'm trying to keep this as spoiler free as possible, but I am talking about a third book. So I'm trying here, guys. But just know, like, you're not always gonna like her actions. Like, this is not somebody that you're going to be like, yay, like, you did that. Like, there is some questionable stuff that she does, but it's justified. Unlike my Catabasis review, which I'm going to be filming next. But anyway, I fell in love with the culture. I really felt like R.F. Kuang did a very good job of balancing like a character study with the atmosphere. She does that very well in the Poppy War series. I can understand why people don't like this though, because to me, if you're going like, if you take like all the grimdark authors, like I'm talking about George R. R. Martin, Joe Abercrombie, R.F. Kuang. I even kind of put Red Rising in that too, because it's pretty grim. I don't know how grim you have to be grim dark, but it feels pretty grim dark to me. This is leaning more towards like a Joe Abercrombie. I haven't read a Game of Thrones book for a really long time. I'm hoping to soon. Oh, I miss that world so much. But I feel like George doesn't always go as far as like a Joe Abercrombie, where he's like, I don't pull any punches. Ara of Kwan is pretty much the same way. She doesn't pull any punches. I know this this review is pretty much a trigger warning. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, there's something about Rin and her relationship with, oh, what is his name? No. With her Southern Army, but who is her? Katai. Her relationship with Katai is very interesting because I don't know if, like, Ara of Kwan, her romances are kind of interesting where, like, they're more like friends than they are lovers. They are connected by the power that they are with, but they did meet in school, and she admires Katai. She really respects his opinion and everything, but they're not like lovers. It's not like a love story. This is more of, we're connected by this power. Kind of think Cassandra Clare's Mortal Instruments, that type of connection. You're not necessarily in love with the person, but you're connected to them by a deeper bond than love, depending on what story you're alluding to. But, and her relationship with, like, the antagonist of this is very well written too. And the ending of this just, like, broke me to pieces. It does something similar to some of the other books, like, okay, we need to finish this. This is how we're gonna do it. But this just was, she wrote this so well. I would actually not mind her going back to, like, more of a historical series, like maybe not in the Chinese era, and this era that she's in, that she created, which is kind of, it feels like the end and the beginning of the Industrial Revolution in China. That's kind of where I feel like it lands. But I would not mind another series like this. Like, extremely dark. Like, you have war. I would have, in all honesty, I would have liked another book in the school and then maybe extend it out. But then I'm like, that would have made 4 books. And then I'm like, then it could have been like, you're dragging out the story too long. Because these do not feel like it drags at all. Like, there's points where they're walking, and I don't feel that as much when I'm reading a book that has good pacing. Like, they're going somewhere, there is something that they need to do. And they come, like, you know, somebody's blocking their way type of thing. I really enjoyed the pacing. Like, I'm trying to think of something I just did not like in this series, and I can't think of any. Like, it's very well written. The characters are very interesting. Like, she goes, like, side characters go on as much of a journey as the main characters do. The setting is, like, I feel like I'm there. And I haven't read a book like that for a very long time that I can say, yeah, it really feels like I was there, I was participating, you know, I was a warrior, I was, you know, and, like, they do talk about starvation in here. There's the scenes, just be aware. But it was so well done. And I feel like I haven't done a video, like, just gushing over a series for a really long time. So I was like, I need to come on here. I need to gush about Poppy War. If you've not read it and Grimdark is not something that you're bothered by, I would definitely suggest this series. It's very, very quick. I feel like the books are extremely long. And the reason I really did read this final book is because, actually today when I'm filming this, the pre-sale of the Illumicrate series, was out, and I was like, I need to finish this. I need to make sure it's 5 stars before I, dedicated a lot of money to 3 books. Like, I'm trying to be better, but they're gorgeous. Illumicrate did a good job on this Poppy War set. I wanted it. I was like, I need to know that this is a 5-star series. I got the book. I got the set. Yeah, I just... Not a lot of these series come around, and I'm like, this is a perfect length. It wasn't too long. It wasn't too short. A trilogy is fine. I miss duologies and trilogies. Like, if you can give me a duology and a trilogy that I'm just going to eat up, that's what I want. I don't want, like... That's not true, because I'm like... I love Game of Thrones, and that's supposed to be 7 books, but we won't talk about that. This is a positive video. But I felt like a lot of YA kind of lingered more towards, like, shorter end. Or if you could write a book in a single book, like, please. I have so many series right now that I'm in the middle of. Like, if you just want to give me a one and done, please. Like, I will be so thankful. But if you like just this vibe, like and subscribe. I usually do book reviews on Sunday, Other Me on Thursdays. And I'm here. So, yeah, and if you want to leave me emoji, leave me a phoenix emoji. I think there's one, if you made it this far. And yeah, if you have some, like, duologies, trilogies that are really good that I may or may not have read, like, leave them down in the comments. I would really like to know, but otherwise, you guys have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!